As a real estate agent, you never really know who you're dealing with. She could have been an actual billionaire. She could have been a scam artist, and I would never know the difference.
President Nixon doesn't believe we should play games with our national security.
The reason why people are living here is because of the lifestyle that we're offering.
85 million, 10 million, 16 million.
These people are the 1% of the 1%.
7, 6, 3, 1, 0. To make a world.
They manipulate the cities to the disadvantage of everyone else in the cities.
The Democrats in the Watergate building.
Partly because of Nixon's insecurity.
I was like 12, and it kind of just clicked in my head. I was like, wait a minute. You can make money doing this. They have this thing where it just gives you a random gamer tag, and I was just like, Mr. Beast, this sounds cool.
Bill Clinton plays the saxophone. Music is a way to reach young people.
This video cost me, I think, $250 to produce, and it ended up producing 20,000.
Yes, we can. We are in the middle of the worst economic crisis since the Great Depression.
Short-term rentals are a $100 billion market that have reshaped global tourism, accelerated a nationwide housing crisis, and created fortunes for early adopters.
Quit my job and start a faceless channel. But I'm going to need a niche, right? Which are the best paying niches?
For me, it's sports, celebrity content, crime-related content, and essentially everything that American people watch.
For the next level of aerial supremacy, Top Gun.
Covered a massive amount of debt that Airbnb hasn't paid. On the books that they're hiding. Tens of millions, hundreds of millions, possibly even $1 billion plus of debt that they have not paid.
It was insane at the time. Just, I make a video and I get $5 grand. 4, 5. I'm like, no, I want 10,000. I just want to walk out my front door and go give it to a homeless person.
Obama gathers enthusiastic young helpers together who are able to master the latest media technology. Obama's website is the centerpiece of his campaign.
Short-term rentals also made long-term rentals more expensive.
I spent the month of October 2022 in California. I drove up and down this state to capture how this place has changed. I saw devastating homelessness.
And I saw the views, and I basically realized that there are lots of buildings that are as tall or even taller than the Empire State Building.
If you opt out of public campaign funding, your expenditures are not limited by law.
And kind of like create this cycle. That's when I was like, I want to use brands to allow me to help people. I was like, I think I just cracked the code.
It's never been more
Hotels provide a lot of amenities like housekeeping, room service, restaurants, concierge desks, meeting rooms, gyms, spas, pools, valet parking, and 24-hour security.
You simply inevitably have a highly disproportionate share of the money coming from a very thin stratum of very rich people.
Fascinating sports films.
Felt like a home away from home because in many cases, it was just someone's home. Airbnbs were also much cheaper. Airbnb still spends billions every year promoting this aspect of their service.
I was doing Airbnb in my apartment in the Upper West Side.
Asked me, what are you doing in New York? And when he said he's a real estate agent, I was actually a bit hesitant to tell him what I came here for.
A presidential campaign in this country today is $1 billion operation.
Hosts were investors who need to accept that all investing carries risk. Most of them still own a home or multiple homes that they can now lease out in an overpriced rental market or sell likely for a profit.
Chose 25 buildings, high, ultra luxury towers, the best views you can privately own in New York. Totally bizarre and crazy.
It's definitely exponential. It's not like you go from like 1 million views to like 2 million. It's like 1 million to 10 to 100 million.
If hosts are not playing by the rules, this legislation will require platforms to take down those listings.
Other cities have just made short-term rentals illegal without the same licensing as a normal hotel.
I was just thinking, how could I get in those buildings? From the moment on that I started to work on the project, this was pretty much the only thing I could think about, take a picture of the view.
Owners associations in apartments and suburbs that have them are blocking owners from renting out their homes to short-term stays because residents who live in their homes don't like loud parties.
I met him at 1.5 million subscribers, somewhere in that area, and we finished out 2018 around 13.6 million.
She, at that point, had essentially created her whole persona.
Michelin-starred private restaurant in the building, theater, swimming pool obviously, would give you a yacht as a present when you buy the apartment.
Does money matter? Yes. If both sides are comparable in the quality of their messaging, the candidate with more money will win.
Fair use guidelines. Following fair use principles is critical to avoiding copyright lawsuits and disputes. It enables you to highlight the most captivating moments from sports matches while remaining legally compliant.
Every single corner of the city are these ultra-luxury real estate, which are not accessible. Apartments and buildings are standing 60 to 70% empty.
Let's talk about editing. Editing. Let's talk about editing.
Since 2009, Hillier Smith has edited videos for some of the biggest YouTubers on the planet and helped to generate more than 5 billion views.
Trim the video to eliminate any protected elements, such as logos or music.
Around that time is where I bought my first designer clothes, like shirts that cost $1,000, which is stupid. And I even bought like a nice car back then as well.
We are not building enough housing for everybody who needs a place to live.
A lot of the same finishes and materials used. Some of the floor plans are the exact same.
A lot of that stuff was overrated, so I got rid of it all and realized like that's just not what makes me happy.
Priming for a big race, this jockey got a clock on the head from the horse next door and was still recovering from the blow when the race began.
In the United States, copyright rights are balanced by the fair use concept.
So his horse literally took off on its own. But get this, even without a jockey, this disciplined horse outran everyone else and managed to win the whole thing.
Viewers relish remarkable moments. Combining well-curated clips and enhance and attract your audience's attention.
Nuclear weapon detonates 150 feet underwater.
The lawyers are going to look at it and they're going to know that fair use exists, and so they're going to immediately see that this is fair use. And
this nuclear weapon had a whopping yield of 8 kilotons and was part of Operation Hardtack in 1958, where the United States did a series of 35 nuclear tests.
I want to plant 20 million trees.
The internet isn't just all talk. Like, if we really put our minds together and try to make a positive change, like, we can actually do it.
45% of all short-term rental listings in Los Angeles are illegal in one way or another, and that the city could have levied between $56.8 million and $302.2 million in fines in 2022 alone.
You are about to learn one of the biggest secrets in the history of the world.
We'll have the money for this video, thank you. We'll have control of this video. You're using our copyright.
It's a secret that has huge effects for everyone who lives on this planet.
This isn't fair. You're letting the production company, the person who owns the copyright, decide if it's fair use or not. And of course they're biased.
Most people can feel deep down that something isn't quite right with the world economy, but few know what it is.